The 2010s were somewhat kind to NFL fan bases who had endured a lot of heartbreak. The Seattle Seahawks won their first ever Super Bowl in the 2013 season. The Philadelphia Eagles captured their first Lombardi Trophy 4 years later. And in the 2019 season, the Kansas City Chiefs ended their 50-year championship drought. With those teams crossed off the list, here are the next 10 fan bases who truly deserve a Super Bowl championship the most. Number 10, Tennessee Titans. Oh, how close the Titans came in 2019. What a Cinderella story that would have been. Led by comeback player of the year Ryan Tannehill and rushing champion Derrick Henry, the Titans grabbed the final wildcard spot in the AFC. They got past the defending Super Bowl champion New England Patriots and the top-seeded Baltimore Ravens before bowing out to the Kansas City Chiefs in the conference title game. Tennessee fell just short of reaching its first Super Bowl in 20 years. But there is some long-term stability in this organization, and the Music City faithful have to remain optimistic. Brighter days are ahead. This franchise never reached a Super Bowl when they were the Houston Oilers, although they won the AFL championship in 1960 and 61. There have been plenty of quality Titan squads over the past 2 decades, but they haven't gotten over the hump. Tennessee sports fans haven't seen an NBA championship from the Memphis Grizzlies or a Stanley Cup from the Nashville Predators, but they truly deserve a title for their patience and loyalty, and what could be better than a Super Bowl? Wouldn't it be nice if they could finally get over that crushing loss to the St. Louis Rams in Super Bowl 34? That painful memory has dragged on for far too long now. Number 9, Carolina Panthers. The Panthers are one of the youngest NFL franchises, having entered the league in 1995. So, one can argue that their fans don't deserve a Super Bowl as much as other teams whose fans have suffered much longer. But we would argue the contrary. The Panthers have already been to 2 Super Bowls, losing both in heartbreaking fashions. The fans had to see franchise star Cam Newton leave on ugly terms following his release in the offseason, while Pro Bowl linebacker Luke Kuechly unexpectedly announced his retirement, and so back to square one. The Panthers hope that new head coach Matt Rule, new starting quarterback Teddy Bridgewater, and superstar running back Christian McCaffrey can help restore the glory days. But it's gonna take some time until they contend again. No matter how they've fared, attendance in Carolina has consistently ranked near the top 10. These fans are as loyal as it gets, through the good and the bad, and outside the Hurricanes' 2006 Stanley Cup championship, sports fans in Carolina haven't had any professional sports titles to celebrate. So just bring that Super Bowl home to sweet Carolina when you can, Panthers. Your fans deserve it. Number 8, Detroit Lions. We try to feel bad for the Lions fans. Then we remember that the city at least got to see the Red Wings win Stanley Cups in 1997, 1998, 2002, and 2008. And the Pistons won an NBA championship not so long ago in 2004. And don't forget the Tigers, who played in the 2006 and 2012 World Series. But if you focus strictly on football, the Lions fan base have suffered a ridiculous amount of heartache, and every fan in the world should sympathize with them. They got nowhere close to a Super Bowl with Barry Sanders. The franchise has actually never played in a Super Bowl, ever. Detroit missed the playoffs every year from 2000 to 2010, and just when it looked like things would turn around in the next decade, they sort of didn't. Matthew Stafford guided the Lions to playoff berths in 2011, 2014, and 2016, but they went one and done each time. They should have defeated the Dallas Cowboys in the 2014 wildcard round, but as per NFL tradition, the Lions were hosed by a botched officiating call. The Lions are starting to tread downward again under Bob Quinn and head coach Matt Patricia, with 2 straight last-place finishes in the NFC North. Detroit's front office is widely responsible for the organization's consistent letdowns. The fans shouldn't have to suffer for it. Here's hoping that they'll one day turn a corner and bring a Lombardi Trophy to the Motor City. Number 7, Atlanta Falcons. Bad clock management, bad play calling, bad ball protection, costly penalties, you name it. The Falcons were one less mistake away from winning Super Bowl 51, which would have prevented them from making this list. But as everybody remembers, they blew a 28-3 lead to the New England Patriots in the big game and lost in overtime. Man, even non-Pats fans, or any football fan for that matter, had to shed a tear for the Falcons faithful. Okay, you get it. Super Bowl 51 may have been the most painful loss imaginable in NFL NFL history, but the heartbreak doesn't end there. It's been a common theme for the Falcons in the 21st century. Yes, Atlanta lost to John Elway's Denver Broncos in Super Bowl 33, but they were a nice underdog story that season. Falcons fans simply had to be thankful that they even got that far. It looked like the Falcons were about to enjoy championship glory with Michael Vick, but they were soundly defeated by the Philadelphia Eagles in the 2004 NFC Championship game and never got close again for a while. The Falcons went one and done with Matty Ice in 2008, 2010, and 2011 postseasons. They lost a gut-wrencher to the San Francisco 49ers in the 2012 NFC Championship game, and a year after losing Super Bowl 51, they narrowly fell to the Eagles in the divisional round. The Falcons have trended downward ever since that loss, recording back-to-back 7-9 seasons. Ryan and Julio Jones aren't getting any younger, and the NFC South is a scary good division. The clock is ticking on this team's chance to finally win a Super Bowl with the two future Hall of Famers. It'd be nice if they could deliver for their long-suffering fans who haven't seen a championship since the 1995 World Series. Number 6. New York Jets. Yes, the Jets have already won a Super Bowl, but that was over half a century ago. The fans in the Big Apple have had to endure every form of agony ever since. Dysfunction, drama, poor management, playoff heartbreak, and more recently. A whole lot of losing. The Jets had a lot of good teams in the 2000s, making the postseason in 2001, 2002, 2004, 2006, 2009, and 2010. They went to the AFC Championship game in Rex Ryan's first 2 years as head coach, but his big mouth, Mark Sanchez's struggles, and locker room drama ended that promising run quickly. The Jets have now missed the playoffs in 9 straight seasons. They've recycled through different quarterbacks, coaches, and front office personnel. Meanwhile, their interstate rivals, the Giants, won 2 Super Bowls with Eli Manning. All Jets fans want is a winner. Is that too much to ask for? No more drama, no more feuds between coaches and players or coaches and GMs. Now that Tom Brady is out of the division, this is your chance, Gang Green. Hurry up, turn it around and bring a Lombardi Trophy back to New York already. Number 5. Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals haven't won a playoff game since 1990. They lost 2 close Super Bowls to Joe Montana's San Francisco 49ers in the 80s, and other than that, it's been pretty ugly in Cincy. We thought the Bengals were onto something when they reached the postseason in 5 straight years from 2011 to 2015 with Andy Dalton, AJ Green, and Geno Atkins. But nope, one and done every year. The Bengals fans have had to put up with constant postseason letdowns and cheap ownership. This team could have gone places if Mike Brown opened up his wallet in free agency while their championship window was open, but they blew that chance. With Joe Burrow now in the fold, the Bengals will enjoy another long-term championship window. We're pretty sure he'll bring at least 1 Super Bowl to these long-suffering fans, but this is the Bengals we're talking about, so I wouldn't be too sure. Number 4, Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals carry the longest championship drought among all North American professional sports teams. They won the NFL championship in 1947 when the franchise was based in Chicago. Cardinals fans endured a whole lot of losing after winning the league title, though. They wouldn't win another playoff game until, wait for it, 1998. And you thought the Bengals fans had it bad? Arizona didn't have much to celebrate from 1999 to 2007 until Kurt Warner and Larry Fitzgerald finally helped his team break through. They went all the way to Super Bowl 43, narrowly losing a thriller in the last minute to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Arizona has only won 2 playoff games ever since that Cinderella run. They were annihilated by the Panthers in the 2015 NFC Championship game and haven't had a winning season since. Given the lengthy championship drought, the many losing seasons, and some of the playoff heartbreaks, it's safe to say that the Cardinals fan base is overdue for a championship. It doesn't help that the Phoenix Suns and Arizona Coyotes haven't won a title either. Only the Diamondbacks have brought a championship home to Arizona in recent memory. Can Kyler Murray and the Cardinals end this drought once and for all? Only time will tell, but we'll all flash a smile for the Arizona faithful if it happens. Number 3. Minnesota Vikings. It's safe to say that no Super Bowl deprived team has endured more gut-wrenching playoff losses than the Vikings. Where do we start? There was the 4 Super Bowl losses between the 1969 and 76 seasons, Gary Anderson's I'm Perfect miss in the 1998 NFC Championship game.
Gary Anderson has missed a field goal for the first time in 2 years. Gary Anderson has a miss.
Brett Favre's costly INT in the 2009 NFC title game, Blair Walsh's missed gimme against Seattle, the 2017 NFC Championship blowout loss to the Philadelphia Eagles when Minnie was one win away from hosting their own Super Bowl? Never mind that Minnesota has never won a Super Bowl, just think about all of those awful playoff losses when it felt like it was truly their time. What more can we say? This team has had some terrible luck. Their fans truly deserve better. Number 2, Cleveland Browns. This is easily the saddest fan base of them all, because quite frankly, there's been next to nothing to celebrate for the past 3 decades. The Browns won the NFL championship in 1964. That would be Cleveland's last sports title for 52 years, until LeBron James led the Cavaliers to an NBA championship in 2016. The Browns, by the way, have never played in a Super Bowl. The ultimate heartbreak for this franchise took place in the 80s. They were victims of John Elway and The Drive in the 1986 AFC Championship game. 1 year later, Ernest Biner committed the fumble as the Browns narrowly lost again to the Broncos in the AFC title game. They got back to the AFC Championship in 1989, once again losing to the Broncos. After blowing those 3 Super Bowl opportunities, the Browns never really recovered. The Browns haven't made the playoffs since 2002. They've gone through a ridiculous amount of quarterbacks, head coaches, and GMs, and no team has wasted more high draft picks. Simply put, it's been ugly. Please, Browns, just end the 50+ years of misery and bring this city a Super Bowl. Number 1, Buffalo Bills. When you lose 4 straight Super Bowls and have never won a Lombardi Trophy, yet you still have one of the rowdiest and most passionate fan bases around, you ought to be number 1 on this list. Such is life with the Buffalo Bills and their fans. The 90s powerhouse led by Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, and Andre Reed will forever go down as one of the greatest dynasties that never was. Seriously, it's devastating enough to lose 1 Super Bowl. Try doing it 4 years in a row without ever capturing the ultimate prize. You can't make this stuff up. The 21st century hasn't been kind to the Bills, who've recorded only 2 postseason berths and 0 playoff wins. But the Bills Mafia hasn't given up hope. They never have and never will. They're the perfect example of sticking with someone you love through the good and the bad. And because their other pro sports teams, the NHL Sabres, have been even worse than the Bills, it's safe to say that this city deserves a Super Bowl more than any other. Whether you're a fan or not, I think we'll all be celebrating when the Bills win their first Super Bowl, should that day ever come. What NFL fan bases do you think deserve a Super Bowl the most? Join us in the comment section below. And if you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.